Good evening, folks. How is everyone? As always, I hope you're doing well. You know you're my people, and I love you. I always want you to be the big three. I want you healthy, I want you happy, and I want you safe. You know what I want from me? Like, share, leave a comment. We got a comment from, I'm just going to be old and sexist since I'm a boomer and assume it's a dude, Spectromancer, over on Odyssey. Right, and he was a big Space Dust fan, and Space Dust got bought out by AB InBev back in like 2015, and he's been searching for a new beer. So, you know, I'm going back and forth with him, and I'm trying to find him something that's going to work with that. You see, Space Dust, which I drank years ago and haven't since, was more grapefruit forward. I went back and watched like a really old video, and it's horrible. Just saying. Not my best work. We're shooting in the rain under the overhang, throwing it out there. And 10 years later? 5 years later? Yeah, we've kind of fine-tuned things a little. So anyway, Spectromancer. We're going to take a look at Juicy Jack today from Santan-Brewing. Now, I don't know where you are, but I guess you'll fill me in if it becomes important. Santan is, of course, local to me. This is their Juicy Jack juicy-hazy-ipa. We are looking at 6.5 for the ABV, which is okay. That's right in a good spot. You have to have one of these to work one of these stupid tablet things. By the way, big fat fingers. Oh, please, can we have the solar flare that destroys all electronics in the world and go back to just being like boomer normal? Throwing it out there. Incidentally, TV repairmen who know what tubes are, really popular. No, they're not, because there won't be anybody broadcasting shit. Neither here nor there. Let's do the crack. Let's do the pour. Let's get a temperature. Let's see what's going on. So, you can go there. That's the bag that goes on those 32 ounce? 8 cups, 64 ounce? I don't know. They're big ass mason jars I make my sun tea in. And the pour is pretty. She's got that nice lemony yellow color. She may be a wee bit cold, which is why we're not getting much for a head. Pretty beer, though. Nice and clear, no floaties. Let's get a temp and see what's going on here. How cold is my beer? My beer is cold. And the reason we're not getting ahead is because she's sitting right at about 34. Don't hate me, man. It's hot out here. Another triple digit, at least $1.08 today. $1.08 today. You know what, though? My winters are 75. And you know what? I'm laughing, but once she gets below 70, if we get those like 55, 65 days, I wear long pants. Yeah. I'm dead serious, man. When I walk the dogs in the morning, it's early and we've had like the 3 days of frost warnings that we get per winter. I have a coat and gloves and a hat on because it's cold, but you have to remember, it's also 80, 90 degrees colder than it is now. So, yeah, everything's relative, my friends. Let's get that nose in there, see what's going on. It's Biden time. Let's put the sniffer in. Nice. She's juicy. Now, Spectromancer, I'm not pulling the grapefruit. And I don't know if grapefruit is really the driving force on why you like Space Dust so much. Said you weren't a big bitter guy. or chick or person or what. Oh, we're just going to go with guy, okay? It's just easier. I'm getting juice, but I'm not getting a lot of delineation. I would go with stone melon at this point. Mostly stone, a little bit of melon on the back end, but let's find out. We're going to slip of the tongue. So, if we measure by the bowl or the stem, I'm going to go with we measure by the bowl, 25. Salud. Oh, that's good though. Tangy. Citrusy. Tangerine. Guava. Maybe a little apricot. Tasty. So at this temperature, and again she's cold, and we're going to have to let her warm up so that she really opens up for us. Soft palate, intradentals, little leakage out into the buccal, rides the crest all the way to the back of the throat, goes right down. Not a hitch. I like this beer, but at this temperature, she's actually a little boring. Not getting any real flavor progression. I'm not getting any real flavor pop. So, so far so good, but let us find out. We are at 39. So let's bring her up into the 40s. I know normally we go 6, but you know, we started it way too cold anyway. So let's give it a second. Let's read the specs on this, which means I need to put my specs on. There we go. Spectacles installed. This Juicy Hazy IPA showcases mosaic and cashmere hops, which explode with aromas of peach, guava, and tangerine. I was close. I was close. Fruity and juicy, a generous amount of oats are added to give Juicy Jack a rich and full-bodied flavor. You know what? The oats are going to throw a little spin on that curveball, right? They're going to fork that ball. Leave it to the oats to always fork everything up. The ABV is 6.5. The IBUs are 37. The suggested pour is 16 ounces. So why did you give it to me in a 12-ounce can? Huh? Why isn't it 6 a pint? Bastards. For hops, we're looking at cashmere mosaic, of course. For the malts, we're looking at 2-roll, Munich 20, golden naked oats, those dirty, trashy golden naked oat, dirty so-and-sos, flaked oats, and wheat. The yeast is going to be London 3, and it pairs with, love when they tell me what to pair my beer with, savory and spicy dishes, which go well with the chops I made tonight. Chicken wings and burgers. So basically it pairs well with food. At least they didn't say melted goat cheese brie with a sprig of... Those people need to stop and go back to wine, man. That's everything they give us. Okay, well that works for me. Again, Santan is local to me. They're a good brewery. I have drank many of their beers, and Lord willing, I will drink many more. Show me what I need to know machine. We are looking at, oh, perfect, 42. That's a nice swing. We're just starting to enter into the approved temperature range zone. So, let's see what we need to know at 42. Normalize the temperature, release the esters, blobbity blobbity. Here's your head, by the way. That's looking a lot nicer than it did on the initial pour when it was just kind of flat and boring. Now we've got some movement. We're not going to lace worth Tinker's cuss from the looks of it, and it's just one of those things where there isn't enough protein to really form the head up. Yeah, we're not going to do the egg cream analogy. Doesn't matter. Nicer, juicier. So the tangerine guava just kind of melds together. Yeah, I'm not really pulling the melon. And the peach has kind of died back, which I thought was apricot, of course, so shows you what my nose knows. But they're all commingled, so it's just one of those things. Doesn't mean we ain't gonna slip of the tongue, though, because we're gentlefolk. We have manners and rules. Really nice. Ooh, interesting. Now, whole tongue involvement. Almost nothing in the uppers or the soft palate, but leakage out into the bugles and down into the sublinguals. The whole tongue rides right into the back, coats the back of the throat. Dirty, medium fast. That flavor profile, it's actually bittered up, which is why I was like, ooh, interesting. So the guava, the peach, the tangerine, they're just going to work in unison is what it looks like from here. Nothing's really separating out. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I mean, when you were a kid, you drank fruit punch, right? And that's just a whole bunch of fruit mixed together. So this isn't a fruit punch brew. If they're out there, New Belgium has that one that Runner loves. It's absolutely brutal, but it's literally like Hawaiian Punch beer, like a fruit punch Jolly Rancher. Like, I can't drink this, it's way too sweet. This is not that sweet. The flavors are there, and they're nice, and they present. That being said, we're going to have to let her warm up a little more and see if anything opens and shifts, so we'll be right back, my friends. That, my friends, is Kenny Wayne Shepherd. And that, my friends, is going to get us a copyright strike for that 2 seconds of Kenny Wayne playing Down for Love off, what album is it? Lay It On Down. I love Kenny Wayne. It's great. Seen him a couple of times. Great show. Rolls through your town. Go see Kenny Wayne. Go see Johnny Lang. Go see Sammy Fish. Go see Larkin Poe. If you're a blues person, an aficionado, there's no reason not to. We are looking at, my friends, 50 degrees. Sorry, got caught up in the jam. All right, so gave this, what, a 25. We should be right in the zone now for this color. And normalize, swirl, release the esters. Still nothing for lacing. No, it's just not going to lace for us. It's one of those beers. Your tangerine is starting to pop. A little more of the stone, which in this case they're saying is peach, but I'm still leaning towards apricot, man. She's smelling really good right now. Oh, it's slipping a tongue. Again, she has shifted. It's gotten really nice. That that conglomeration, the incorporation of the three flavors together are still there, but they're starting to spread, and the tangerine is definitely presenting. She is soft palate, intradental, extradental, and buccal. Almost no tongue now, though. Really has gotten dirty. She has slowed down to a medium, and when she hits the back of the throat, she just silky smooth, slips right down. Scusi. Ugh. Birds are up. I wonder if that means Big Bird is looking for some dinner. Really good. Really nice. Again, when it comes to IPAs, as I have said 100 times, and you guys are like, dude, we know. I lean more towards juicy hazy. I don't get piney. Spectromancer had said that he didn't like New Belgium because it was too bitter. Although we've been doing that New Belgium box, and everything in that New Belgium box, it was their tropical IPA box, is, I think the worst in there was, did they have one in the 60s or did it top out at the 40s? Fuck me if I remember. But anyway, there was nothing in that box that presented as overly bitter, and all were quite literally nice, really juicy, solid ones. I think the worst we gave anything was a 4.5, maybe a 4.75. But otherwise, New Belgium turns out some great beers. I don't remember if that's Matt Brindleson. It might be, or Matt Brindleson might work for Boulevard, which is my, those are my top 1 and 2. I love those two brewers. Let's see what we got. She has warmed up a little more by now. So the tangerine and the peach are fighting it out. Just throwing it in there, and the guava, was it guava I think they said, on the back end is just like, I'm right here. Don't slow down. Coming up fast. Slip of the tongue. All right, she's getting into too warm territory. Nice, interesting. Nothing up top. Everything was tongue-based. She's 62 now. That's the problem with shooting in Phoenix in the summer outside. But if I shot inside, she'd never warm up fast enough for us to be able to actually do this. And the video would either be 3 hours long, or there'd be 227 jump cuts. At 62, she's really not a good beer. She's not horrible. There is no reason to drink this beer at this temperature. Flavor profile has gotten manky. Bitterness stays at the same bitterness level. Nothing really going on. She's really, really fast and dirty now. Surprisingly, she hasn't chalked out my teeth at all once, which is odd, because usually with, 6, 5, 7 beers, the teeth start to go, but nada. All right, we're going to call it here, because I still have to shoot the short, and by the time I get there, it'll be 70. So if you really want to see what it looks like at 70, go watch the short. Do I like this beer? Yes. Would I drink this beer again? Yes. Would I buy this beer? Sure. Try it on tap? Love to. Handed this to me out of the cooler, I'd say thank you very much. This is a really, really good, solid beer. I like this. I would put it in one of these first, but that's me. Good for the style? Yeah, it's pretty solid for the style. Interesting flavor profile? Yes and no. She showed us some nice progression, and she started to open, and then she just got muddy. So, 4.75. 4.75. it's not like that means it's a bad beer. It's not like a 1.5 we gave that Vietnamese beer that was just literally formaldehyde. I haven't tasted anything like that since I opened up the jar of the fetal pigs in friggin' anatomy class. Ugh. Horrible. And no, I didn't drink that, but once you smell it, you know what it is. Formaldehyde. Formalin, allegedly. Anyway, yeah, no, I like this beer, so 4.75 is definitely fair. Thanks, come by. Putting some eyeballs on you, all my people. You know I love you. I want you to be the big three, my friends. I want you healthy, happy, safe, honorable, dutiful, vigilant, gray man, head of swivel, hot and Andy. Hot and Andy, of course, comes with its own list of responsibilities that you are responsible for being responsible for, regardless of whether or not they're constitutional. But, you know, if you're going to drive, you should know how to operate a car. Along those lines, know what I mean? So, I will catch you on the next one. But until then, my friends, pushing sin against God zone here. Skal. No, there is nothing good about this beer now. It's way too warm.